Kia ora everyone, a couple of days ago I covered some news of some new LEGO DC sets that are to be releasing in January of 2025. The same day we got that information, we got some pretty cool info on LEGO Marvel superhero sets as well, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. If you haven't seen the DC news, you can click right here, or click the link in the description below. The Marvel stuff is pretty interesting, it's also really ridiculous, so let's get into it. The first set from Marvel here is set 76307, Iron Man Mech vs Ultron, retailing for 15 USD again, so the same prices as before. All of the pieces for every Marvel set listed here are unclear from this point on. Now this is a mech set that actually partly intrigues me. It makes sense from a character perspective that someone like Iron Man would be paired up with a mech, even if it's still something that's original from LEGO's own designers. The most exciting part here obviously is that Ultron inclusion. I missed all of the Age of Ultron based sets back in 2015 when those released, and he's a really big missing part from my collection. We've all been asking for a new Ultron figure for quite a while now, and I think the Ultron from the Quinjet set just looks incredible, so I'm really hoping for a great remake of this exact look and style. It's rather fitting as well. Next year is the 10-year anniversary of Age of Ultron, and we do have some really nice looking Avengers sets releasing soon. These come out in August, I believe, so it's a nice companion set to go here, although actually I'm realizing as I'm speaking, what if this is based on comics and not based on the movies? I hadn't actually considered that this wouldn't be based on the movies, because just about everything LEGO Marvel does lately is exclusively tied to the movies, so I assumed it would be based on Age of Ultron. I could be wrong here. I'm looking through Brickset. It looks like the last time we had a LEGO Marvel playset that was not a Spider-Man release, and it wasn't released as an MCU movie set, was the 2020 Avengers waves. And they were really cool sets, really great figures included in those, though again it's kind of based around the Square Enix game. Anyway, the next set here is another mech, set 76308, Spider-Man vs Anti-Venom Mech. The price is the same here, and again the piece count is unknown. I don't know how many times we have to have Spider-Man in mechs, but we have another one in case you missed the last ones. It's another mech, and I genuinely mean it when I say this. I'd love to see if LEGO show this stuff to a focus group and actually ask them who they would rather see in the mech. Is it Spider-Man or the villain? I feel like all of these would just be more appealing to the masses if it was someone else in the mech. Anti-Venom is the obvious intriguing factor here. We've had so many releases of Spider-Man and Venoms and Carnage figures that eventually LEGO just had to start venomizing a bunch of other figures because I think they felt like they were out of ideas. There's still so many ideas that they haven't touched on yet. I'm sure everyone would love to see an actual figure of the Lizard, Electro, Kingpin, Tombstone, Hammerhead, Silver Sable. Anti-Venom is interesting enough for now. I really don't like these mech sets though, so we'll have to wait and see what the final product here is before I commit. I've heard some people say that this could potentially be Symbiote Spider-Man. There's no way they're going to release the Black Suit Spider-Man in such a cheap set like this. That's going to be something that is reserved exclusively for some big bombastic release. The next set here is just another skippable one for me, 76309, Spider-Man vs Venom's Venomized car, retailing for 30 USD, close to 50 to 60 NZD. Very funny, sounds like a surefire miss from me. We had the Miles Morales car that came with Morbius. I hate the fact that I bought it, but I did. I wanted the Miles and Morbius figures. I got it for cheap, but it's a pretty bad set overall. We then had the Spider-Man variant that included re-releases of Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, and a really ugly, edgy-looking Green Goblin, but this time he's all Venomized. I think these kind of sets sound really lame for me. I'm not the target audience here though, so always worth keeping in mind. I hate Spider-Man sets that revolve around vehicles, I really do. It's just a pet peeve of mine. It's just incredibly unnecessary, but they clearly have to sell well because it's all we get for Spider-Man these days. Moving on. The next set here is 76310, Iron Man's car and Black Panther versus Red Hulk. I really hope that LEGO fix these naming conventions here. That just is a bad title. Priced at 35 USD, still in the same price range as some of those others, looking at maybe 60 to 70 NZD. It's interesting, the price is pretty cheap for a big fig of Red Hulk, which is exactly why this will not be a big fig of Red Hulk. I think instead it's going to be a minifig variant of the guy, and it'll help to match the minifig variant of the Hulk that we've been getting. LEGO have been releasing a bunch of minifig variants of big figs lately. We do know that Red Hulk is supposed to be included in a Captain America set sometime in the future, so I think they're going to want that synergy of having big fig and minifig out at the same time. It's another car for superheroes, so yeah, I'm not totally interested, but at the very least, I think it makes a bit more sense for someone like Tony Stark to be having a weird car, because you can imagine that if the car is all Iron Man-y, it means that he built it. Black Panther's included here as well. That's a character that seems to sell well with people. I am more interested in this one than some of the others, but not by too much. This next set here is very intriguing, set 76311, Spiderverse Miles Morales versus the Spot, retailing for 40 USD. We're slowly creeping up in prices now, looking to be maybe 70 to 80 NZD. This is pretty big news. Fans let it be heard that they were not happy that LEGO weren't satisfying their Spider-Verse needs last year, and it looks like LEGO listened. As always with stuff like this, I'm just fascinated to know what took them so long here. If it's true and it's based on the animated movies that everyone loves, I'm very curious to see what stylization that this set goes for. I would be really disappointed if the minifigures don't have anything that really resemble those Spider-Verse movies. I swear to God, LEGO, if they just reuse a Miles from a different set that we've already seen before, I'm gonna lose my mind. My ideal set here is the bodega sequence from near the beginning of the movie. I've wanted sets like this for the superheroes line for years now. Just give me the Lego City and Friends ideas, but in superhero sets please. Next set here is 76313, Buildable Marvel Lego, priced at 100 USD. That's a pretty big leap from the previous set that we talked about, between 160 to 200 NZD, then maybe right in the middle at 180, but you never know. I swear, this will 100% appeal to a very specific part of that audience. I think it sounds rather boring for me personally to be building this, but it may make for an interesting display once it's complete. If it's as simple as the red and white logo, it seems sound enough, but what if it features a bunch of the characters in the letters like in the actual intro sequence? No minifigures have been currently listed, but some of the creators here would make sense, be it comics or movie based. And the final set here to talk about is set 76314, Captain America Civil War Airport Battle, which is set to be priced at also 100 USD, just like the Marvel logo. I already know which one interests me more. I love seeing LEGO remaking old sets. The original Civil War Airport Battle is a pretty good one, and it's pretty expensive on the aftermarket nowadays. Expensive because it has arguably the best Scarlet Witch figure and the only good buildable Giant Man figure. The actual airport build is very weak in the set. It's probably the worst part. They decided to go more for the Quinjet build, so I'm hoping that this follows the same kind of path as the in-game compound set and it actually fleshes out the environment this time around. The only things I want to see here the most, I want to see Ant-Man again, and this time I would love to have one set that features all three different variants. It's ridiculous to me that LEGO continue to separate them every single time. I want to have the brick built figure, the minifigure, and the little tiny figure as well. I also want to see a Spider-Man figure here because we are well past the point of spoilers now. And that's it. Pretty exhausting stuff overall. I'm very intrigued by a lot of this and I'm immediately turned away by so many sets here as well. I also like the prospect of getting some remakes of the Infinity Saga line, plus the Spider-Verse stuff as well. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are down below. Liking this video and subscribing to the channel does help to support more videos like this one in the future. Ka kite on everyone, take care, hope to see you all next time.